What up, monster people? This is the luckiest dog in the world, apparently. You are the luckiest dog in the world. So this is Nala. Pete died. He croaked. And that was the last time that I posted. I actually lost three dogs in 3 years. They all came down with some kind of like nerve disorder that looked like some type of congenital, I guess, neurology problem, seizures and the like. But it was some dog treats that I was giving them. I didn't know it, and it kills me that I was feeding the dogs the way I was, that I was going to so much trouble, and that I did something so stupid. But I guess we all make mistakes, and those dogs live really good lives, all three of them. But anyway, I want to share what's been going on with me. So I'm a dumbass, and I guess I thought, I could do whatever I want for as long as I want, never have to pay any consequences. And I've been feeling really sick because of high blood pressure and pre-diabetes, whatever that is, and like a lifelong sugar addiction. And 6 months ago I got off of nicotine, and that was super duper hard. And I'm definitely not congratulating myself, because I wish I would have done it way sooner. But thank God I managed to stay off for 6 months. And so I decided to fast. And I'm sharing this because I know how many of my friends deal with like things like immune disorders. Like, there's so many people I know and love who suffer from all kinds of things, man. Bowel trouble, like I know like 4 people who have a disease where their body's attacking themselves. And I'm 54 years old, and I'm at an age where things start to fall apart, And the question is there anything I can do about it? Just because I've been, had bad habits for a long time doesn't mean I have to continue to have bad habits. And I came to fasting because of a guy named Dr. Jason Fung. He's a nephrologist, and he's pretty easy to find on YouTube. And there's one video. It's like an hour-long video, and it just covers fasting. But I fast for autophagy, which is, and this is what I've read. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. But supposedly autophagy is a process that happens when you're in a fasted state at a much higher rate than it does when you're in a fed state. And so autophagy is where the body renews itself, where cells that are marked for deletion or whatever, they're replaced or repaired. And supposedly, as glucose goes down, which is what happens when you fast, autophagy goes up, and it peaks at about 24 hours after you start. And another thing that happens when you fast is you get a spike in human growth hormone, which is how your body preserves muscle when you're fasting. And I was 200 pounds, the heaviest I'd ever been. And I was feeling sick constantly, non-stop. And I started having these headaches, and I had sleep apnea. She doesn't have sleep apnea, but I had developed sleep apnea, and it was killing me, man. It was killing me. Sorry, never used a gadget like this. Yeah, the sleep apnea was no joke, man. And I was waking up with a headache every single day. Every freaking day. A migraine headache that would last from the time I woke up until for like 4 or 5 hours every single day. And man, it was no joke. It was really bad. But so I did the shorter version is I did a 16-day fast, and I'm not recommending fasting to anyone. because I have no credentials to do that, but I'm saying for myself, from what I've come to believe, from the reading that I've done for myself, and from people like Dr. Jason Fung, from reading what he had to say or hearing what he had to say, I grew to strongly believe in fasting. And so I made it 16 days, and I quit on the 16th day because I was having kidney pain. And I was doing what's called a dirty fast, which means in my case I was taking, as opposed to like a strict water fast, but in this case it means I was taking electrolytes, which is magnesium, potassium, calcium, sodium, and I was taking nutritional yeast. And there were a couple of times when my kidneys were hurting really bad that I took some coconut oil, and that got me over the hump, took the pain away, and I felt 1,000% better once I got past day 5 or 6. Way better. There was this effect of like, it's like my feet came off the ground. I can't even really describe it, but you feel so less connected. Not you, but I feel so less connected to all the things that seem so much more important to me when I'm in a fed state. I can't even explain it. It's like you're a balloon, and somebody's letting out the line, and you're getting higher and higher, and the cravings for food were at their worst at about 6 days. Yeah, days like 4, 5, and 6 were really rough, man. I was having full-on food porn fantasies about like Brussels sprouts, and I'm not even joking. There was a time when I laid in bed and fantasized about Brussels sprouts sauteed in butter. I'm not trying to sound weird, but it was strong and intense. It wasn't weird, it was just intense. The most intense food cravings I've ever had in my life. And I still was taking caffeine, and in small amounts, and drinking, and this is the dirty fast part, and drinking herbal teas. And a lot of people want to know how much water I drank. I took 4 28-ounce juice bottles, like the kinds you get that have like real blueberry in them, and or 3 of them, and I would fill them up with water, and I drank distilled water, 3 of those a day, so it's like 100 ounces, which is about half my body weight. So 100 ounces of water, and boy, I tell you, that's the most I can drink. I don't know how anybody drinks more than that, but I keep them in the fridge and I drink it cold. And so it took me 7 tries to get going on the longer fast. So out of those 7 tries, I made it twice to 3 days. And I failed at 3 days both times. And when I made it past day 4, day 5, it was the most intense cravings I've ever had. But it felt like I was being unplugged from like drugs. Like I quit drugs. Like that's how it felt. Like the food was the drug, you know, sugar and I guess all the fats and everything that I guess probably we don't even know we're consuming, you know, because there's so many things. And I'm also a big dairy eater, so I quit dairy. I quit everything. I mean, it was just water fasting, straight up water fasting with the few things that I mentioned. Oh, and apple cider vinegar. That was, I think, the last thing. But after I got through day 6, 7, 8, then I started to cruise. You just like, all that hunger kind of disappears, and you just feel really, really good. I was watching a video earlier today, and a guy described it by saying, it's how you should feel all the time. And that totally made perfect sense to me. It's like you feel like kind of like on top of the world. And this was on top of me having a lot of physical symptoms, still related to having quitting dipping and smoking and having a shitty diet for almost my entire life and being fat. But I guess what I'm trying to say to those of you who care to listen is that if you are dealing with one of these problems, these I don't know, whatever you want to say, immune disorders, I know there's a bunch of you, I think it's worth investigating, put it that way. And I truly believe it helped me. I could feel my body healing. God, it was a lot of pain too. Like by the third or fourth day, I was in constant pain. My whole body was in pain. My gut hurt. God, way through day 5 and 6. And but I just kept pounding the water. And I was going to go 21 days, but I quit at like day 15, 16, because I just felt like I had to. And this is the water that I drink, 3 of these. That's the way I do it. So, friends, whatever you're going through, I mean, fasting can kill you. This is for sure the real thing. Fasting can kill you dead, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm not recommending anything except that to say that it helped me. I believe that it helped me, and super grateful to even have the option of something that I can do when I don't really have the ability to do anything else. It's like a tool, and you realize that you have this really powerful tool that has these wonderful effects, but it just is such a foreign concept to so many people. There's so many people who don't understand it and don't believe in it, and what the hell do I know? Maybe they're right, because there's so little, most of the information people have about fasting is anecdotal. I mean, that's not true of Dr. Fung, because he uses charts and graphs, and there have been a ton of studies done on how fasting works in the body. But I think there's a lot of noise and misconceptions about it, and that because of that, people have a wrong-headed idea about it, kind of like pit bulls, right? People say pit bulls are bad. Of course, we all know that's bullshit. But anyway, Kim, Crystal, Heather, Rachel, Adriana, those of you who watch this, Heather, this is my cure, such as it is, for what I've been going through. So anyway, I hope everyone's good. Bye-bye.